Thank you for having us talk to you today, and we are excited about your 86th birthday that's coming up. How do you feel, especially in this time of COVID? How you keeping?
Well, quite reasonably well. Just to give myself busy catching up with all kinds of backlog work in my lockdown. So even as the state does its own lockdown, I follow our lockdown. It's a chance for me to catch up.
Awesome. We know that you are very close with nature at home, and it's also a beautiful thing to know that you are close to nature here at the park as well. Would you say that this your relationship with the greens and a nice environment actually helps with longevity?
Well, the only question you have to ask yourself is this, is to try and make a comparative note. Suppose this concept here were to have been taking place in the environment of the National Theatre in Igomo, which is in the midst of nature also. It's not integrated into nature. It's like an eyesore planted in some green soil. Here, on a kind of miniature scale, nature has been integrated, has been blended into it. And so when I walk out, I don't feel alienated. And when I see people, whether eating, rehearsing, performing, or whatever they're doing in this surround, it's like a miniature aspect of my forest in Abeokuta.
Awesome. I know that you're not just our patron, you are one of the founding individuals that took interest in this space from time. And I heard you talk about it being, how will I put it now? It being converted from a space where there was so much bad things happening to a space of freedom and all that. In these 10 years, would you say that your ideas back then have come to pass? Would you say that there's some things that are missing from the dreams that were put down 10 years ago? Would you say that Freedom Park is a success story?
No question at all in my mind, especially when you consider the kind of society we live in which even the smallest imaginative, really visionary project takes so much sweat and confronts so many obstacles from the most unbelievable sources. This has been a resounding success, a real triumph over obstacles, a triumph over the Nigerian factor, which many people like to pretend does not exist, but which we know is so real and so deleterious to human, even normal existence. How much more creative initiatives. And so for me, I'm telling you, even though I quarrel with Theo and the others, because I know the reason they planted me here, planted me to stay here, is because I think I'll be at home because it's a former prison. So that's between them and me. We will sort that out as we go along. But in all seriousness, I think it has been a resounding success. This is the real cultural center of Lagos State, Lagos City, in terms of a modernistic approach, and yet keeping in touch with history, preserving as much of history, both not just structurally, but even in terms of the palpability of the environment, the existence of the former prisons, of the former hanging spot, all been converted as you into places of genuine warmth and humanity and creativity. So it's on a scale which suits me. I'm not very fond of these grandiose. Well, I admire them, these huge complexes. I've been in them, I've worked in them. I still continue to interact with them. Whether I take Oviedo in Spain or in the theater, the Kennedy Center in the United States, or in Venice, for instance, where I lectured as a read and performed, director of plays and so on. But this suits my sense of small is beautiful. And in this particular case, it's successfully managed it, designed it, and operating it in a way in which you don't even feel the smallness of it at all. And people can be, they feel they're an expanse of nature. And that has to do with the preservation of the original design and the original concept. So on and off, especially in a country like this, which is number one success.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you worry that the younger generation might not be leveling up to continuing these legacies that have been put down by yourself, Mr. Lawson, and all those that are custodians of this beautiful space? Because it's something a lot of people don't want to talk about, but the truth of the matter is that the youths now have mentors in fraudsters. They have mentors in people that should not be their mentors. And when they see you or any of all the elderly people, they go like, oh no, I can't relate. So I would love for you to encourage the youths, because the truth of the matter is that we're going to take over at some point. And if we're not being trained now to take over, then how is the project going to be in years to come?
The answer to that actually is it's not a question of directing one's energy to getting the youths that you're talking about to understand that this is their space. More importantly, to let them understand that when it comes to the arts and culture, the glory of the arts is variety. See, many of them come here, and I know they come to all narrate one of those things, thinking that this should be exactly the same as other spaces they've been to. And they have to be told bluntly, as I have, now look, this is different from the shrine of fellows. This is different from what, for instance, Roy Chicago's dance structure used to be. It's different from the former Parai it's different from Musa. It's different from that Bulgarian monstrosity called the National Theatre at Igon. And they should learn to adapt themselves to what there is. Because there are alternatives. They should never attempt to make the vision of other people conform to their own desires, which very often are shallow, superficial, and have no interest to other people. And the reason I mention this is because of an incident which happened here once, in various Russian. It's actually a young relation of mine who came here and visiting here for the first time. He's been living in the United States, actually a creative person, runs a small radio thing. And he saw a sign, no marijuana here. And he came from this place and he said, no, we won't stand for that. We won't accept this. So I said, who the bloody hell do you think you are? Those who set this place up, that's their vision. And they know what they're talking. They know that there's a certain culture associated with free smoking, even harder drugs and so on. And they're saying, no, we're catering for a different kind of culture. If you don't like it, get out. So we've got to have the moral and creative authority to talk to that kind of youth and to let them know that everything is not exactly the same. There's no society you go to where you don't have a variety. And people look for what they want, and they adjust, or try to, persuade the people there, can we have this? Can we also have this? Can you cater for this? We don't come into a place like this and try and impose on. Where did you come from? Were you there in the first place? The people who started this place, did they come over to your own joint to tell you that you must be like they are? No, they decided, let's cater for another aspect of the entire plenum of the creative and entertaining and, just interactive society. So I won't worry too much about those who don't find this congenial. You know very well that cross-section of society comes in. The traditional music, dance, contemporary dance, sculptures, cinema of different kinds, including Nollywood, festivals, have been going on here, in and out, in and out. That's all you need. You don't have to try and please anybody. You cannot find a niche in this kind of environment.
Wow. That took the next question out of my mind, because I was going to ask, in these 10 years, do you think we've not done enough to be able to talk to the youths or get them to align themselves to the vision of this place? But we've said it all. Is there anything that we can do after COVID? I know Mr. Lawson is thinking of community development, trying to engage the youths. I will tell you something. All through the lockdown, even when there was full lockdown, Gate 1, the Gate 1 over there.
Yes.
The Lagos Island youths, they come there every day. They are there. Some of them are there right now. They've started gathering in the evening. They're going to be full. The whole of Cross Street in that axis has been taken over by creatives. Yeah. They come, they do dance aerobics, they do dance. They have different sections. I tried to check them up online. I saw that they're actually different dance troops. So, is there a way that you think we can incorporate such initiatives into what the park is doing, so that when these bad boys come, they have no choice but to find that youthful community for them to belong to?
Fortunately, once I was very lucky, and then after that, I drove deliberately to see. I happened to drive here early along Broad Street early one Sunday morning, and I saw these skates, what are they called?
Skaters.
Skate. Yeah. They are rehearsing choreography, etc., etc. And it reminded me, and so the week after I had to go to, I said, I'm going to go early in the morning just to see whether it's a regular thing. Sure enough, I found them there. And it delighted me no end. And they're outside overlooking Broad Street. They're doing their thing under the shadow of the statue of their icon, Anikulapo. So that has already integrated, has already linked them up with whatever else is happening here. And this is one of my regrets, I regret about this place, that we weren't able to use this during Lagos at 50. We wanted to convert the entire area, linking it up to race course. We had designed, I'd even created some of the markers, some of them are hanging up on the trees outside, because after that, we didn't know what to do with them. So Theo snagged some of them, he didn't even pay for. I'm going to do that. but look at what is done with it, with those trees hanging there. And for me, this is what creativity is all about. And anybody who comes there cannot see that. And see that the place is open, really open for such events to go on side by side with what we might call the staid traditional sculptors or, people, craftspeople and so on. So I don't know what more people do. And as I was saying, it's a pity that we missed that opportunity. But, Lagos was one, it's another story entirely. But we're going to convert this entire place with this as a hub, as a creative center for a whole year. And I'm sure there are other opportunities where they should be seized. whenever such comes up. You can even have a post-COVID festival in which you translate some of the things we want to try to do begun to do during Lagos of 50. Translate it here, and let people just get an understanding that the arts, culture, and parcel of life, they're not poor relations, and they're not exotic events. They are exactly what we live. And some of the youth, as we heard, understand this, and they use it, and they're comfortable here. I will see them all the time. So don't worry your head at all about those there. So tell them to go and look what they want somewhere else. Simple.
True. Okay, it's been a very interesting discussion, but it's not going to be as I would love it to end if I don't ask you about your trips out of the country now that COVID has put everybody on lockdown. But we're hearing that the airports are going to be open soon. So now we know that you travel a lot for conferences, you speak here, you speak there. Would you like to go back to that life, or you're just going to zoom it when we open up the airports?
Listen, it's a big, that's a very interesting question. Because now that I've stayed so long and continuously in my forest stage, I'm wondering how on earth I'm ever going to get used to coming out of it on the kind of basis which I used to have. Because it's always been a bit of a range where I have to pull myself up from travel out and so on. Always, what the earth am I going to do outside? Now with this problem which just has given me, has just locked me down. And I will lock myself down also because it gives me the opportunity to catch up lots of things I wanted to do with my own work, and also in the physical surrounding of the work. How on earth am I going to go when now people say you have no more excuse. We're expecting you in Toronto, or we're expecting you in Australia, and no more excuse. I don't know what I'm going to do because I become used to being. I just came down 2 days ago, and I'm off back tomorrow. So I don't know what's going to happen, but.
Are you getting used to Zoom? I saw you on one of the Zoom meetings.
No, I'm not. Yes, I've done 1 or 2 Zooms. Believe me, I'm going to leave that to your generation. Carry on with Zoom. I've tried it out. I don't like Zoom. I'll tell you that straight away. I'll sit there openly. Yes, looking at myself. I can't just have to organize the other. Look, I'm out of Zoom.
Well, at least you made an effort to join 1 or 2.
I've done 4 already.
What?
I've done 4. The last one, together with the Lindo annual lectures, did that, UNDP, and did one with some youths and so on and so forth. And 4 together. For me, that's it. You people carry on with you. One of my former colleagues, he said, he never passed the facts stage. Me, at least, I've tried the internet, I've tried this, I tried small. At Zoom, I passed.
Try well. All right, the last engagement, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Just say congratulations to Freedom Park at 10, and just bless us.
Well, what I was going to say is simply congratulations and just carry on exactly as you've been doing, and of course experimenting constantly, expanding when you can, where you can, but without losing the character which you have established. It's a very unique blend of history, as I said, history, tradition, contemporaneity, innovation, and so on. That's it.